Welcome to hashtag Nerd Stuffs. That's the official name of our vlog that we have both decided on. So, short introductions as always. I'm fat middle-aged Spider-Man. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Fuzzy, and this is Fink. So, back again here to do some videos, another vlog. See what we can do, see what we can talk about. So, since I went first, you get to go first this time. So, what we're going to be doing now, we're going to talk about what we're watching, playing, doing, not watching, whatever we want to talk about, really. So, Fink, go ahead.
All right. So, what I've been watching this week, of course, as always, Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, all great shows. Arrow's really picking up into this Reverse Flash storyline, and I've read a lot of the fan theories of who the Reverse Flash is and everything, and it's looking like a lot of people are pointing towards it being Henry Allen, which is Barry's dad, which was he was in jail for the first part of the series and everything. It's a lot of people are looking at the eyes, and there's a lot of pictures on the internet going around that are close up on the eyes, and they're exactly the same. So of course you've got the guy that played did Candyman doing the voice for Zoom right now, which is pretty much just to disguise. Yeah, just to disguise. That's cool. Disguise the voice and disguise who the reveal is going to be. But looking at the eyes, those are some distinct eyes. So I hope it's Henry Allen, and I hope it's Earth 2 Henry Allen, so we get to see that Barry getting just kind of destroyed by the thought of his dad being the villain, which would be awesome. Arrow, Felicity being paralyzed. We're into that storyline. This week's episode really just showed basically it's a build up to a huge battle between Arrow and Damien Dark, which Damien Dark is a big villain from the comic books. It's another show that's going to be awesome, and I'll go more into the depth in that once I get my schedule sorted out on my shows, and the Fink thinks, whatever I'm going to call that. Legends of Tomorrow.
That's a good name.
Fink thinks.
That's a good name. I was saying.
Legends of Tomorrow. I'm behind an episode, so I'm not going to talk too much about that yet because I want to get caught up before I get onto that. Doctor Who. I'm watching a ton of Doctor Who right now. I'm behind, so I'm not on the newer episodes of Doctor Who. Of course, there's no Doctor Who this year. There won't be any new until the Christmas episode comes out. But I'm on the Matt Smith years right now, which I wish I would have started watching Doctor Who so much sooner. It's so awesome, so good. I will probably be starting my own little segment for Doctor Who, which eventually, once hopefully I get caught up, probably by the time 2017 rolls around and we get new episodes, I'll be caught up. That's what I've been watching. Of course, Walking Dead, we'll talk about that a little bit later once we get
we'll talk about it together.
on into that. We'll talk about the mid-season premiere and all that stuff. So I'll let Fuzzy take over.
Oh, you hit the table.
Easy.
Whoa, big fella. I watched. We had originally planned to go see Deadpool together, but family things happen, and it's unfortunate and sad what happened. But I did, however, my beautiful wife, Caitlin, I love you, took me to see Deadpool on Valentine's Day, and I just don't even have any words to express how much I loved that movie. I just don't. It was so good. It was so much more than I expected. I went in expecting it to be a good movie, but I didn't expect it to be that good of a movie. It did have...
I've heard people talk about it, how awesome it is, so and I'm pretty jealous that I've not got to see it.
It had some stuff I was excited about. I kind of felt like the X-Men characters were kind of shoehorned in to just say, hey, we have X-Men characters in the movie.
Yeah, look, X-Men.
But they did just a great job with the movie, and it was just so entertaining, and it's so fun seeing Deadpool finally be Deadpool. I mean, you know, it's full of boobs, vaginas.
What's not to love?
I think there's a penis in it, and then blood, tons of blood and gore, and then tons of profanity, and just Deadpool being Deadpool. Which in reality, it's Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, and he's just they couldn't find anybody else better to play Deadpool. And I can't wait till you see it. We can actually talk about it because I don't do spoilers, and you'll have to excuse me. I have a sinus infection. And I've been fighting it for like 3 weeks now, and it's getting annoying. But we can talk about this together. So the other day, or last night, actually, by the time you watch this, though, it'll be last week. We streamed Black Ops 3 together. We streamed it off of my machine, and you know we're talking as being our silly selves and sucking at the game. But that's something that you can expect. We played Black Ops 3 together a lot, actually, outside of this. He's the only person I actually play Black Ops with, so we played a lot. So it'll stream to our YouTube, and I'm going to be opening a Twitch sometime soon, so we'll be on that. Speaking of Twitch, I'm also an avid Xbox gamer, so I'll be streaming Halo 5. I play with a couple of good friends here where we live. And they're my friends in real life. I actually have a couple of friends. Not very many. Just a few. Alright, so let's talk about, first up, let's talk about the new Doom. Did you know that there was kind of new Doom coming out?
Yes, I've seen.
Man, I'm excited. I loved Doom 1, Doom 2, Final Doom, Doom 3. I actually never beat Doom 3. I played it almost to the end, and I never beat it. Maybe I'll do that in the next couple of weeks. I'll beat Doom 3. I have it for the PC, of course. And yeah, I'm super excited about that. I've seen the trailer. It's really gory and it's really bloody.
And it looks awesome.
And they're saying that the campaign is going to be 13 hours long.
13 hours?
13 hours long. We'll see. We'll see how the lasting impression is on it. Because first-person shooter games tend to get a little boring after about the 6th hour, which is why most of them aren't that long.
Yeah, most of them are cut off at 6 hours. So.
The multiplayer factor is what keeps things like Call of Duty and Halo alive, because it's always something new. You never know what the human opponent's going to do, but eventually you start learning patterns of AI. No matter how smart the AI is, they have patterns. So we'll see how it is. I haven't seen too much of that. And then let's talk about something that I love. Let's talk about Mega Man and the Mega Man Legacy Collection, which came out several months ago. So I bought it for the Xbox One. I'll probably end up buying it for my 3DS because I love it so much. And then I'll probably end up getting it for the PS4. It's out on the PS4, so I can stream to YouTube. But I can also stream it to Twitch. You don't know much about it. We talked about it earlier. So what it is, Mega Man Legacy Collection is a collection of the first 6 Mega Man games on the Nintendo, and they didn't change anything. They just ported them straight, and it's all in a collection, and that's awesome. But there's also a challenge mode, which was what I want to talk about. So the challenge mode is really hard. There's, I think, 100 challenges, and I beat all of them. Yes, I beat all challenges, even the end one, which was beat all the Robot Masters, which is Mega Man 1 had 6, 2 through 6 had 8, and the last challenge was beat all Robot Masters from all the games in a random order with no power-ups from the other bosses. You just use your standard weapon, and I did it, and I think about 30 minutes. I might be off on the time, but you can go check out my gamer score, my Xbox profile, and you can actually see it. It took me 2 days of memorizing the patterns to beat it. But Mega Man holds a special place in my heart. It's one of my favorite things. My gamer tag on the Xbox or my icon, it is Mega Man. And I own several Mega Man related things. The first game my dad ever bought me on the Nintendo was Mega Man 1, and I never beat Mega Man until I was 18.
I've played, but I've never beat any of them either. So.
As a kid, I could never beat Iceman stage. Never. And I got so mad at that game so many times that I wanted to break it. And I really did try. You couldn't break a Nintendo. I jumped on it and stomped it. Slung the rectangular death controller at it with the sharp, pointy edges.
Back in the good old days when we couldn't break games.
I did own Mega Man 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I did beat all those when I was a younger child. But never beat number 1 until recently. And by recently, I mean, it was like 15 years ago. I'm old.
That's recent to us.
But yeah, I mean, like, that's just, that's something nostalgic from my childhood that I loved. And I still do to this day. It's just one of those things that I do that I love. So, what about you? You have anything nostalgic that you like, that you still find yourself doing, playing, watching?
I mean, like we did tonight, going back. I'm a Call of Duty fanboy, so I mean, I still go back and play Modern Warfare 3. Which if my Xbox 360 still worked, I would be playing Modern Warfare. I still be playing Modern Warfare 2. But I still go back and play Modern Warfare 3 all the time. We played some Black Ops 2 tonight, which I love the maps on Black Ops 2. Just, I mean, the way they were set up was perfect. You had your lanes. You always had the good. Why you have to go off camera to do that?
Because it's funny. Because people see me like slowly creep over,
right?
And then I'm gone,
just disappearing.
And then,
but Black Ops 2, we played some tonight, and going back and playing those games, I realized how much I wasn't bad at Call of Duty at one point.
Yeah,
we played Black Ops 2 tonight. Josh went 24-9.
Yeah,
on one, and I think I went 18-7.
No, it was 23-6.
Whatever. We both did pretty good. Going back and playing the older games on PS3, and that's what I remember. I remember me, you, and another guy, Phil, that we used to work with.
Phil,
going back and playing with those guys. That was before I had a kid. It was video games, work, drinking beer,
video games.
That was it. But and just going back and playing those games brings me back, to a time when I didn't have to worry about these other bigger issues in life. I didn't have a house payment. I didn't have all that stuff. It was a little bit easier, but I wouldn't trade my life now for anything. But going back and playing those games, that's where I started. And then leading up to that, I borrowed Battlefront. Last vlog we talked about we were going to play Battlefront. He brought it over. He actually let me borrow it. I've been playing it for probably the past week and a half now.
It's been about a week.
It is just amazing. That's a great game. I love Star Wars in the first place. Battlefront's awesome. Definitely, if you're watching this, you're on PS4. RMFINK, it's me. Look me up. We'll play together. Battlefront's awesome. I've also been playing some Hardware Rivals. It's a new PS Plus free game. I think it was last month that it was free. I'm not sure. Either this month or last month. But either way, that one's cool. Drive around. It reminds me of Twisted Metal. Drive around in vehicles, blowing people up, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. That game's pretty cool. And then, I've just been playing Black Ops 3. I wish I played more of the nostalgic stuff. I guess if I broke out my PSP, I have it with custom firmware on it, so I can play like SNES games and stuff. So I play Sonic sometimes and stuff like that. That's my biggest nostalgic thing. And I've never beat a Sonic game.
I've never
play
beat
them all the time.
Never beat one either.
Never ever beat one of them.
I own the original. It came with my Sega Genesis Model 1. I never beat it. I own the Sega Genesis Mega Collection for the PS3. It has a ton of Sega games. Sonic 1 being one of them. Still haven't beat it. It's very difficult. Most Sonic games are very difficult. The original ones.
Yeah, they are, and they're time consuming.
Very time consuming.
Especially when you don't have something that you can save your game on, like I do. PSP won't save my games. So.
Man, I remember playing Legend of Zelda was the first game I interacted with that had a save feature, and I was blown away. Because
you didn't have to leave your console.
But yeah, before then it just was no. Here's a good example: Mega Man. Hey, you turned it off. That was it.
There was no
you
save
left
function.
it running, and you played through it. By God, that day, you beat that game that day, which I never did. Yeah. I wish I never got rid of my PSP. You know, they released a special edition Star Wars PSP that had Darth Vader's silhouette on the back. And I worked at a place at the time when it came out, and I bought it, and then I sold it. I'm really bad about selling things. I don't anymore, but I used to sell things a lot, and I wish I did it because I would have just tons of stuff that's worth quite a bit of money nowadays. I don't think that PSP is. I found it on eBay for like $70.
Yeah,
but it was
pretty
so
sure
cool.
PSPs have gone to work.
Well, I had a Vita, and then I sold it, and I shouldn't have because then I could just play the PlayStation 4 on the Vita.
Yeah.
I'll probably get another one. Now that we're talking about it, I'll have to think about it until it happens. I'm like, I need to get that. Just like when the headset went out last night during the stream, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go buy a new headset.
Get a new headset.
And I did. I went and bought one today. So we won't have that issue ever again.
Never again.
What else? Okay, so now let's talk about Walking Dead now.
All right, yeah, Walking Dead, Tom. The mid-season premiere was amazing.
It was really good.
Probably one of the best newer episodes, which we're leading up and we're getting so close to Negan and being in the show. I mean, I know you've read the comics.
I read up to Negan. I haven't.
I'm behind on where they're at now in the comics, but I'm going to try to get caught up and hopefully start doing some videos on the Walking Dead comics and how they differ from the shows and just my take on stuff like that. But the moment when we first get to see Negan is going to be so amazing. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is going to play Negan, which is going to be awesome. Great casting choice. But the mid-season premiere, that first scene where you see Abraham, Sasha, and Daryl come up on the Saviors in the middle of the road. I have to say, as soon as they took Daryl around the side of the truck, I thought that Daryl's going to kill that guy. He's going to come around with a rocket launcher, and something's going to go down. I did not expect them to just blow up out of nowhere, which is pretty much how it seemed. But that scene was awesome. Getting to see the Alexandrians?
Whatever you want to say, man.
How are you going to say them?
I don't know.
Whatever you want to call them. They seeing them finally step up and be a part of the group and take care of their own like they did. You saw them looking out their windows at first when Rick and everybody was out there just hacking zombies, and then to see them go out and take part in that and be part of the group was awesome. Also seeing the iconic scene from the comic books.
I was going to say, it was pretty faithful to the comic book.
Where Carl gets shot in the, of course, in the comics, it's Douglas, which Douglas was replaced with Deanna that shot Carl in the eye. But to see Ron take the shot, which it's been teased. It's been teased to where Ron would be the one shooting Carl in the eye.
That was pretty messed up when he looked over. He's like,
Dad? And that's straight up out of the comics. Yeah, that's what he says when he gets shot in the eye. Yeah, when he gets shot in the eye, it has the small text, Dad. And that's that was a great scene. And to watch The Talking Dead and see how they did that shot with the full life-sized dummy and everything was really cool. So if you haven't seen that, look up how they did that because it's awesome. Leading up into the next couple episodes, I think are going to be pretty awesome. Seeing Rick bring that community together, And then I think, I've seen on the internet where we're going to be seeing more of the Hilltop, which is another community.
Yeah, that's where I pretty much stopped reading. Was that like when I made it to the Hilltop?
Yeah, so you've got Hilltop in the comics. You've got Hilltop, and you have the Kingdom and Alexandria, which are 3 communities that work together to survive in this world. I really want to see Hilltop because Hilltop's going to lead into more than likely Jesus coming on the show, which Jesus is an awesome character.
Yeah, didn't they?
In itself.
Jesus.
Pictures have been leaked of him on set.
Okay, so they did leak the pictures of him.
Yep. So those have been leaked on set. I'm hoping that once we see Hilltop, I'm sure that we're going to see. Well, I'm not sure. I'm hoping that we're going to see Hilltop and then the introduction of Negan into the show, which I was hoping that Negan would be at the end of the mid-season premiere, but of course he wasn't. But. I don't know. I've talked about it. What do you think about? Keeps doing that. What do you think about the mid-season premiere?
I liked it. I've been kind of getting burned out on The Walking Dead. Whereas the comic is very exciting to me for some reason. Good job, Ray. I'm just joking. The house is on fire. The comic is very exciting for me, and I don't know why it's more exciting for me. I've been getting burnt. I think in the show they've done a little one too many times. So let's find a place to live, and then it all falls apart because I feel like it's happened more in the show than it did in the comic book for some reason, and I might be wrong. I just don't know.
The comic book, it just doesn't seem to last as long in the comics. I don't think.
I think maybe
they
that's
found a
what
safe
it is.
haven, and then they're moving, straight into moving.
I mean, but plus they replaced some characters in the show, which makes sense on the show standpoint. I understand why they did it, but as far as the comic books goes, Andrea was still alive when I
should still be alive.
When I stopped reading, and it was just because she was a very strong female character.
And that's in the comics, that's Rick's next love interest was Andrea.
So it's like, but I was getting burned out on it, and I'm not 100% sure why. However, with the mid-season premiere, to see the scene where they're going through the walkers, the zombies, and it transpired almost exactly how it did in the comics. Kind of renewed my faith in it. I think that's another thing. Is because I am a huge fan of the comic book that the show strays so far away from it. Sometimes I think I'll lose interest in it because it's not as true to the comic. And I think actually that might be the real reason because a lot of people, like my wife, are still really into it. I just think that's what it is. However, that was a beautifully shot episode, and they did a really good job. I love seeing practical effects. I hate when you can tell when they kill a zombie with a sword and it's fake. It's computer blood and a computer blade.
Yeah.
That drives me absolutely insane. That was the first time I ever saw that was in 300. But when I saw it in 300, it was awesome because it hadn't been done yet, and it was super cool. And then now it's like
so overdone now.
It's just overdoing it just a little bit, but it's still they do great effects, and it still blows my mind that I can turn on cable TV and watch a show like that. When I was growing up, you turn on cable TV, and you definitely didn't see anything like that. That was on Cinemax at night.
I remember being a kid and my mom telling me that The Simpsons was too much for me. Too much. So now seeing people kill zombies on TV it's nothing to anybody now, but back 15, 20 years you never would have saw any of that stuff.
I did like it though.
I was glad to see Sam die. A little sniveling brat.
See, and the thing is, like in the comics, I don't remember him being that annoying.
No, but he was.
In the comic books, I think like after Rick killed his dad, he was just quiet most of the time.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember him too much. I don't think he was that memorable to me from the comics. But
yeah, it was what I'm saying. He wasn't
seeing
memorable.
that whole
It just wasn't.
family, seeing that whole family besides Jesse die was gratifying to me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I told that kid was gonna get killed.
Yeah, you knew from the the last episode before the mid-season break that Sam was going to be the reason that something went wrong.
Mommy.
Yeah, so you knew something was going to go wrong there, and of course it did. The kid had a mental breakdown, partially because of Carol.
I was going to say we didn't talk about that. Partially because Carol said some mess up things to him.
Yeah,
and
it came back to bite the group in the butt. Yeah,
see,
the monsters are going to get you, and they did.
I really like Carol, but sometimes I question.
She takes it over the top.
I question her motives just a little bit. I feel like sometimes she's like the secret leader of the group because she's the one that's like doing everything like in the
to
background.
push everybody in a certain direction.
Yeah, in a certain direction. And it's like when Morgan when Morgan saved the wolf. And he ended up not actually being a bad guy. He actually sacrificed himself to save her. Denise, I think that was her name, to save her. And that was actually a plot turn, a twist that I didn't see coming. I actually thought I thought she was going to die because of him. And
that's exactly what I thought. I thought that he would be the one who ended up living and she would die. Of course, she needs to live. If they're following,
she needs to live
the comic books.
But it is The Walking Dead and the TV show, and you don't know.
You never know who's going to die.
Gosh, I had something else.
They've teased Glenn dying so many times. So much. If spoiler warning, if you've not read the comics, Glenn dies. Glenn dies in the comics at the hand of Negan and Lucille, and that's. In my opinion, that's what they're building up to. They're getting us ready for Glenn to die. And they're going to keep teasing it until that happens. I've seen fan theories that Daryl will be the one that takes that place of somebody, the big part of somebody dying. But I really think they're teasing Glenn dying.
I'll tell you right now, I don't think that they'll kill Daryl because I think they would lose half of their viewers. Yeah. And not me. It would be my wife would stop watching it. Your wife would stop watching it.
The women portion.
Norman Reedus, who I love, Boondock Saints is a fantastic movie, and he's a good actor. And he's an awesome character. Daryl wasn't in the comic books, so it doesn't make a difference to me. He is a good character though. I like him.
That's one of the things that they've done right.
I get tired of the lone wolf stick all the time. The lone wolf is like, I need to be alone right now. Right. I'm gonna go off on my own.
And they give him opportunities to come into the fold with Beth when it was just him and Beth together. They built like this strong bond together. Yeah. And then what happens? Beth dies. So all of a sudden Daryl's back to this lone wolf. I can't get close to people because they all die. Merle died. Beth died, and this keeps just happening to him. I think eventually, yes, they will kill Daryl off the show. I'm sorry, ladies, it's going to happen. But I really don't think that they're going to replace Daryl with Glenn's death. That's too iconic from the comic books.
Yeah, they'll kill.
Sorry,
they'll kill. No, it's all right. They'll kill Glenn. It would be the smart move to do. It would be to kill Glenn, not because I want Glenn to die, but because
it furthers the storyline.
It furthers the storyline, and you need
with Glenn dying. Eventually, a major character is going to have to die.
Yeah,
we know Carl's not going to die. He's going to play a bigger part into this, just like he does in the comics. Like I said, I'm a little bit behind on the comics, but I see Carl building himself up to something different. It's either going to be Carl turning into this monster that's created by this world, or he's going to take over in the footsteps of his dad when something happens to Rick, which heaven forbid it ever does.
Yeah,
I like Rick's character. It's so great to see him go through all these changes all the time, and it's pretty much the show is Rick centric. So, you know, Rick really drives the story. You know, we started out the story with Rick. I think eventually, if Carl doesn't take over that position, then the story will end with Rick. Rick's going to be the driving point of the show for a long time.
Yeah. Short rant. I hate getting on Facebook or any social media and seeing people complain when there's not enough zombie killing in the TV show. I'm going to let you know that the show was never about, or the comic was never about zombies. It was about how humans survived in a zombie apocalypse. So the shows that actually don't have zombies in it a lot, I actually really enjoy, because that's what draws me to the show to begin with. Like the episode with Morgan when he was
with the guy in the cabin.
Eastman.
Yeah.
By the way, did you notice all the Ninja Turtle references in that? Eastman. Who's the creators of Ninja Turtles? Eastman. And Lord. Okay, his name is Eastman. What was his weapon of choice? A bow staff?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What kind of turtle did he set free? Or he was wearing a shirt that said, "Save the Terrapins."
I didn't even think about that.
You didn't think about that?
I guess that was a huge shout out to Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, but I love that episode. It was probably one of my favorite Walking Dead episodes. And why? Because it was not about zombies, and it was about someone who is extremely damaged by what happened to the world. Be saved. Yeah. And that's another.
Now I'm right on with you with that rant, because I hate it when I see people complain about the episodes where they're developing these characters and they're actually giving them more. You're giving us more insight into the characters, what they've been through, you know, and we get some character building stuff. Like, would Morgan, the way Morgan acts, be as relevant if we didn't see that episode? No, it wouldn't be. We wouldn't understand why Morgan's so put off by killing people, even the bad people.
Yeah.
You know, he was in a position where he was completely just insane, and, you know, he was gone. There was no Morgan. There was just insanity in his head. And now he's to the point where he's taken the Eastman position, and he gave the wolf a chance. Yeah. You know, he wanted to see him brought back to redemption, to all life is precious.
Yeah.
And really, that's what's not to like about that. All life is precious. It's crazy to me to think that people think that those episodes are horrible because I didn't see enough brains getting splattered across my TV. Well, that's stupid. That's not what this show's about in the first place.
Exactly. It's fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that section of the show, and it's a big part of the draw. But it's not what it was never about.
It's not what it's supposed to be about. So the DareDevil teaser was released earlier this week. And we got to see John Bernthal. Yeah. That's his name, John Bernthal. As Punisher. So I'm assuming that he's going to follow the Frank Castle storyline as the Punisher. But the teaser looks so awesome to see somebody, and the line at the end of the teaser is what really got me. You are one bad day away from being me. That's awesome, and that's exactly what DareDevil is. I mean, really, Frank Castle had everything taken away from him. His whole family wiped out, yeah. and he does not he doesn't have the gray that DareDevil has. DareDevil, like I said, you like the I don't remember what he said exactly, but you like the courage to finish the job. Basically, is what he tells him. You knock people down, and they get back up. When I knock them down, they stay down. So everything's black and white to Punisher. You're either good or you're bad. Whereas with DareDevil, he's more of the I'm bringing you to justice instead of I'm judge, jury, executioner.
Yeah.
I'm the Punisher.
It looked awesome.
It does look awesome. That's going to be a great another season. Which I'm excited. All the Netflix series have been awesome so far. DareDevil, Jessica Jones was awesome.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm working.
You've got to get to that.
I'm getting to it. All right, so I don't really have anything else. I think, however, I will say next week I do want to talk about the new Ghostbusters movie a little bit. I'm
Are
intrigued.
they still doing that?
Yeah, you did. It's
It's all women, right?
It's all women. Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy.
I won't see it.
Thor's in it. I don't remember his name.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, Chris.
But I won't see it because Melissa McCarthy's in it, and I don't like her.
Anyway, I'm going to talk about it because
you can.
I want to talk. Well, because I'm interested in it because I am a huge Ghostbusters fan, the original Ghostbusters fan, and I'm just interested in how it's going to be and what I'm going to try to look up and see if I can figure out what characters each person's going to portray. I'm going to guess that Melissa McCarthy's going to be like Venkman, like Bill Murray. She just kind of has the same attitude, but I don't know. We'll see. I know you don't like Melissa McCarthy. That's cool. Whatever. All right, so that's it. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. Share this on Facebook, please.
Hashtag
NerdStuffs with an S.
Like,
I was going to put a Z, but I thought it was too cool, so I didn't put a Z.
Like it.
Like it.
Subscribe.
And
And
share it.
Share it.
Love it. Be it.